Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain News Club's Bitcoin edition. Let's take a brief intro into today's crypto updates before going into the details. As the Securities and Exchange Commission cracks down on cryptocurrency exchanges like Kraken, the main threat to Bitcoin remains regulation, according to Florian Grummes, managing partner at Midas Touch Consulting. The Ordinals hype is real, with the NFT inscriptions now regularly taking over 50% of Bitcoin block space. Dalio has a surprising prediction about the future of the economy. He believes Bitcoin will become a viable competitor. The whale transaction count metric indicates a considerable spike despite BTC's price tanking. Mateea Petrescu, a spokesperson for Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, told Decrypt that Romanian police also confiscated hardware wallets containing digital assets. Before we dive deep into today's updates, please subscribe to our Blockchain News Club channel. It will help us immensely. Bitcoin's main threat is regulation. BTC could recover to $50,000 this year, Florian Grummes. According to Florian Grummes, managing partner at Midas Touch Consulting, regulation is still Bitcoin's main threat, even as the Securities and Exchange Commission cracks down on cryptocurrency exchanges like Kraken. Grummes, who has worked in the financial industry for over 2 decades and is a technical analyst by trade, has expressed concern about Bitcoin's entry and exit points. They cannot stop the Bitcoin network itself, but if it's forbidden to send certain amounts of money to exchanges, there won't be enough people to buy it, and then it's going to move underground, he said. Bitcoin had a rough 2022, losing 64% of its value, but has seen a rally in 2023, increasing 31% since the beginning of the year. Using a combination of historical data and technical analysis, Grummes predicted that Bitcoin's price would continue to rise, eventually reaching $50,000 this year. If 2019 is anything like 2018, following the bear cycle that began in December 2017 and drove Bitcoin's price from $20,000 to $3,200, then we can expect. However, beginning in March 2019, Bitcoin began a rapid recovery, increasing by 350% over the course of 3 months. The man realized something. In the coming weeks and months, it's possible that Bitcoin will recover to the $35,000 to $50,000 range. Grummes interviewed Kitco News anchor and producer David Lin. Bitcoin maximalists, advocates of the cryptocurrency who claim it is the best digital asset available, often argue that Bitcoin's limited supply and decentralized nature make it well suited for use as a reserve asset in the future. Bitcoin maximalists argue that Bitcoin can be used by governments and central banks around the world in a manner analogous to how gold was used during the gold standard. Grummes said that this idea was a wet dream that would take decades to come true. The potential is there, he said, but it could take decades to realize. If big nations that are ruling the planet can't be trusted, we could see a totally different setup. Bitcoin miners already made nearly $600,000 from Ordinals NFT transactions. In just 2 months, Bitcoin miners have made nearly $600,000 thanks to a new controversial NFT protocol called Ordinals. The blockchain is typically used for peer-to-peer monetary transactions, but Ordinals allow users to inscribe data in images and other media types in freshly mined blocks. Dune Analytics data reveals that since Ordinals' release in the middle of December 2022, users have inserted nearly 74,000 NFTs into the Bitcoin blockchain, earning miners a total of $574,000 in BTC transaction fees. Included among these NFTs are digital artifacts copied from popular works such as CryptoPunks and the Bored Ape Yacht Club library. Ordinals relies on 2 Bitcoin network soft fork upgrades, Segregated Witness in 2017 and Taproot in 2021. The SegWit update, for instance, enabled Bitcoin's block size to be increased to 4 megabytes. Likewise, the Taproot update facilitates batching and verifying multiple transactions together, provided that the total size of all the transactions does not exceed 4 megabytes. Because of this function, media files like videos and photos can be permanently embedded in Bitcoin blocks. Since Ordinals were introduced in early February, the average size of a Bitcoin block has increased from its previous range of 1.5 to 2 megabytes to 3 megabytes to 3.5 megabytes. At the same time, the number of SegWit and non-SegWit blocks waiting to be mined in Bitcoin's mempool has reached an all-time high not seen since the FTX collapse. According to BitMEX research, Ordinals data has been taking up more than half of Bitcoin block space on occasion. According to Glassnode's weekly report, this describes a growth in the user base and an upwards pressure on the fee market from usage beyond the typical investment and monetary transfer use cases. It will be interesting to see how Ordinals influence on-chain network activity and investor behavior. Finding or mining new blocks on the Bitcoin network is how miners make their money. In contrast, miners keep only about 3% of transaction fees. To some, Ordinals usher in a concept called miner extractable value, which has been linked to Ethereum mining in the past. As a quick definition, MEV is the total amount of money that miners can make from creating new blocks, including all transaction fees and block rewards. Ordinals, its detractors say, is an attack that will drive up the cost of Bitcoin and hurt the cryptocurrency's reputation as a safe peer-to-peer payment system. Adam Back, co-founder and CEO of Blockstream, said, "Bitcoin is designed to be censor-resistant. However, that doesn't prevent us from joking about the absurdity and wastefulness of an encoding. Take advantage of your time effectively. Unless otherwise specified, this is just another proof of consumption of block space thingy." Why Bitcoin is this billionaire's favorite cryptocurrency? Ray Dalio has made a bold forecast for the economy's future that may shock you. Billionaire and co-manager of the largest hedge fund in the world, Ray Dalio has a deep understanding of microeconomic trends and the ability to foresee emerging changes in the macroeconomic environment. He sees a change coming in the intensifying rivalry between various monetary systems. He is so confident in Bitcoin's potential that he has invested 2% of his own portfolio in the cryptocurrency. But why would a multi-billionaire risk so much on such a volatile investment? Those of us who wanted to know more about his thought process are in luck, because he recently provided more information. While Dalio was a guest on the Lex Fridman podcast, he was initially asked questions about the economy and finance. The conversation then became a monologue as Dalio discussed his hopes for Bitcoin's future role in the increasingly digital world, how it compares to gold, and even the nature of money itself. Dalio gave a number of reasons for his Bitcoin investment. That Bitcoin has obtained the status of having imputed value and come so far from its humble beginnings was at the top of the list. Few people were using the network when the crypto first appeared in 2009. To fast forward to the present day, the Bitcoin blockchain has developed into a massive decentralized network based on genuine organic growth. Bitcoin has grown exponentially, and its code has proven to be nearly unhackable, but Dalio thinks this isn't given enough credit. After rejoicing in Bitcoin's meteoric rise, Dalio dove into his arguments for why it has a legitimate future as a currency. To paraphrase him, an era where there will be competition of monies is what we can expect in the years and decades ahead. Common people today are getting the proverbial short end of the stick because of the ever-increasing supply of government-backed fiat currencies. As the total amount of currency in circulation rises, the buying power of each person's paycheck decreases. Therefore, Dalio thinks people in these countries are increasingly considering the concept of money. He remarked that money serves two masters. To him, fiat currencies like the US dollar are losing their appeal as both a medium of exchange and a store of value, while Bitcoin offers both. Dalio believes Bitcoin will become a serious competitor to fiat currencies in this brave new world of alternative monies. A common strategy among investors is to pit Bitcoin against gold in a one or the other framework due to the two assets' functional similarities. However, Dalio disagrees with this assessment. When asked which he likes better, Bitcoin or gold, Dalio said that they both have the same qualities but are better suited to different uses. While he agreed that Bitcoin will play a part in the transfer of value in the future of the internet, he also suggested that there may be a need for offline transactions. In spite of Bitcoin's anonymity, it is technically possible to trace transactions. Even though gold is still useful in today's economy, Bitcoin is the younger generation's alternative to gold, in Dalio's opinion. Bitcoin is likely to prosper as this generation begins to play a larger role in the economy. According to reports, Dalio has invested about 2% of his wealth in Bitcoin. And Dalio is worth more than $19 billion himself. He probably no longer wants to increase his wealth and is instead looking to protect what he has. You might feel comfortable allocating a larger portion of your portfolio to a volatile asset like Bitcoin depending on your investing horizon and risk tolerance. A 2% allocation might be reasonable if you're focused on long-term wealth preservation like Dalio. Those who are just starting out in the market, however, will be around to see if Dalio's predictions about competing monies pan out in the long run. Whales are looking to accumulate BTC should the price drop lower. After a relatively successful move in 2023, the price of Bitcoin has begun to show signs of exhaustion. However, it appears that whales have been buying the dip despite this. It's possible to view BTC's short-term retracement as bearish, but the whales have a different take. There was a change in the daily structure of the market after the 2023 bull rally produced a higher high above the November 5 swing high at $21,480. Such a shift could signal the beginning of an uptrend, implying that the recent drop in BTC's price was merely a retracement. Despite BTC's price plummeting, the whale transaction count metric indicates a sizable increase, suggesting that the theory is supported by the whales. It's possible that the whales are currently attempting to buy the dip, as indicated by this metric spike after a sell-off. The number of these extremely significant transactions has increased by 70% in the last 5 days, from 150 to 280. One more piece of evidence supporting the whales theory is the quantity of stablecoins they possess. After a brief ebb in late 2022, whales stablecoin holdings rose again in early 2023, just as BTC began a 49% rise. In the past 2 days, there has been a dramatic increase in the number of whales holding between 100,000 and 10 million Tether or Circle. That the whales are buying the dip is further supported by this. Bitcoin has lost 0.40% of its value in the last day, trading at $21,748.48. More than 5% of the crypto king's value has been lost in the past 7 days. Andrew Tate reveals how much Bitcoin he's had seized by authorities. Since then, authorities in Romania, where the British American resides, have taken possession of luxury goods valued at several $million. Tate, who had a large online following, thanks to his bragging about scamming men through his webcam business, frequently discussed the size of his cryptocurrency stash. The digital assets were stored in hardware wallets, which the Romanian police seized, according to Mateea Petrescu, a spokesman for Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. As per Petrescu, Andrew Tate had 5 Bitcoin in his wallet, which is equivalent to roughly $111,339 as of this writing. Tristan had about 16 Bitcoin in his wallet. That is a total of $467,625 in value for the asset. The spokesperson said that Andrew Tate's Bitcoin was stored in his girlfriend's hardware wallet, and that it was unknown whether the social media star had more cryptocurrency than was already seized. When asked by Decrypt for comment, Romanian law enforcement declined. Bitcoin is a topic that Andrew Tate has discussed extensively. Last year, on Anthony Pompliano's popular Bitcoin podcast, he said, "You can actually control and own your money. Is it tough to transfer large sums of money? The use of Bitcoin poses no difficulties." Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates in the blockchain community.